Once the centre receives confirmation that a candidate wishes to undertake an award through the centre, and a date has been set for the candidate induction, a meeting takes place between the assessor and the internal verifier to confirm arrangements for candidate management tasks. A centre portfolio is created for the candidate. Candidate induction is conducted at the place of work of the candidate. The purpose of the induction process is to ensure that the candidate understands the qualification process and the role that the centre plays within that process. The candidate then signs a contract between themselves and the centre where the roles and responsibilities of each party are clearly defined. The candidate receives a copy of the qualification handbook for the award or qualification being undertaken. The candidate is introduced to their portfolio and how the portfolio is completed by the candidates on a unit-by-unit basis. In addition, the candidate completes a number of registration forms relevant to the SQA and WOMATAB and the centre itself. The candidate also completes a form to ensure that any evidence presented is their own work. In the case of this centre, the candidate is shown how to use the Dropbox facility to upload evidence items and other documents associated with the qualification process. The induction meeting is also an opportunity for the assessor to see the assessment site and assess its suitability for the assessment process. It is agreed that a series of progress visits will be made to the candidate as they work their way through the award. The first such visit will be once the candidate has completed Unit 1. During the induction process, an assessment plan for Unit 1 is drawn up between the assessor and the candidate. This is signed by both parties. The assessment plan is important for each unit as it defines how each unit will be assessed and what methods of assessment will be employed by the assessor in agreement with the candidate. As the candidate gathers evidence of competence for each unit, it is placed in the portfolio. It is important to ensure that the candidate has enough evidence to meet the assessment criteria associated with the learning outcomes in each unit. In the case of these waste management awards, the evidence normally consists of observations, either directly by assessor or from witness testimony, questions and answers, candidate narrative, workplace-based evidence, or photographs. Finally, at the induction meeting, the candidate has the process appeals procedure explained. Progress meetings are an important part of the candidate management process, and they keep the candidate focused on the award being undertaken. They also provide target dates for work completion, and it is important that unit assessment plans reflect the dates of these progress meetings so that the candidate is working towards unit completion in line with the progress meeting dates. When the progress meetings are set to review 3 or 4 units, then it is beneficial for the candidate to be encouraged to upload finished units in advance of the meeting so that the assessor can give feedback at the progress meeting. Most of the waste management awards consist of 12 units, and in the main, the candidates tend to require 2 or 3 progress visits before the final summative assessment is carried out on the award completion. The final progress visit, once the 12 units have been done, is important as it provides both the candidate and the assessor the opportunity to clarify any outstanding issues, and for the assessor to do a facility walkover with the candidate and perhaps clarify any areas where the workplace-based evidence is lacking, or indeed to ask any questions of the candidate where they feel the candidate has not been clear on particular issues. In an ideal world, the assessor will have done most of the unit assessments as the candidate completed them, and indeed would not need to go to the candidate's place of work for the final visit until all completed units have been provided by the candidate. This would mean that the final visit to the candidate would be to tidy up any loose ends. Once the assessor returns from the final visit, they will complete the assessment of the candidate portfolio. The assessor completes an assessor report in regard to the decision-making process and forwards this document along with the candidate portfolio to the nominated internal verifier. The internal verifier will review the decision-making process of the assessor by sampling 3 units from the 12 units undertaken by the candidate and checking the work done by the assessor. The internal verifier confirms that they agree with the decision taken by the assessor and sends a report back to the assessor, an internal verifier's report with instructions to result the candidate. Waste management qualifications in Scotland are jointly awarded by both the SQA and WMATAB. In addition, the vocational qualifications the candidate can request an industry certificate of competence from WMATAB. This is only issued by WMATAB when the candidate has received his formal qualification from the SQA. Management of candidates from the point they are registered with the centre to the point at which they are resulted for any given qualification is an online process. This is done using a system provided to all vocational qualification centres by the SQA. WMATAB uses a similar system to manage candidates undertaking qualifications in the rest of the UK. Congratulations to Andy Gibson, an excellent and highly professional candidate, on the completion of his waste management qualification. Both the SQA and WMATAB conduct external annual verification visits to all centres in Scotland. These visits are extremely thorough and focus on performance of the centre and its employees in the course of delivering vocational qualifications. At the conclusion of the visit, the external verifier provides an external verification report to the centre and both parties sign the report. Any follow-up actions required by the centre are time sensitive and the completion of the tasks are strictly monitored by the external verifier. The external verifier has an online report to be completed at the centre, and this report examines every aspect of the centre, from its management and administration through to the quality systems in place, and also the competencies of its staff and the quality of its decision-making processes.